I've often heard people say that work-life balance is a myth, or that balance in general is a myth. And to this, I wholeheartedly disagree. Not only do I believe that balance is not a myth, I believe that it's actually essential. I just believe that there's more nuance within what balance actually means. And there's no actual perfect definition of balance because perfection in any area of life isn't possible. Let's talk all about that today in part 3 of this Calm and Ambitious series. How to create balance as a high achiever. This is episode number 87. Welcome to Calmly Coping. My name is Tati, and I'm a licensed therapist and coach specializing in high-functioning anxiety. I help high achievers overcome high-functioning anxiety so they can finally stop overthinking everything. If this topic interests you, then please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I release a new episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I use the term high achiever a lot in my podcast, but what exactly do I mean by that? So high achievers are ambitious and driven by the goal of achievement, and they're driven by a strong desire to accomplish and reach meaningful goals. So you're willing to go the extra mile to achieve and often have desires to go above and beyond what is expected of you. So bearing this in mind, it might be even more difficult to achieve balance as a high achiever because you may spend more time in those areas in which you want to achieve. So whether it's work, school, caring for your body, etc., etc. So the problem occurs when you neglect self-care in favor of achievement, and when your fear and anxiety run the show by encouraging you to ignore your body's signals because you're afraid of failure, judgment, or uncertainty. So let's talk about a simple method you can use to start creating balance in your life. When I first started studying mindfulness, I learned the concept of nourishing versus depleting activities. So nourishing activities are those things that give you energy. So they make you feel motivated, energized, and often result in pleasant emotions or experiences. So this can include things like getting a full night of sleep, eating nutritious meals, taking breaks regularly throughout the day. Maybe for you, nourishing activities means doing work on your computer, or maybe for you, doing nourishing activity means having conversations with people. So it can really depend on your personality type and preferences as to what these differences are. And depleting activities are the things that drain you of energy. So they can increase stress, uncertainty, self-doubt, and also feel tedious and just the things that you don't enjoy doing. They may be things you tend to procrastinate or that require a lot of motivation and focus to complete. So these might be things like doing really tedious tasks like your taxes or checking emails. It might be something like, for you, maybe a depleting activity is spending time with somebody or having a conversation or going to a meeting or, sitting behind a computer all day. So it really, again, depends on your personality. But what I want you to do first is step 1 and be an objective observer of your experience and of your day, and really start listening to and paying attention to how certain tasks or activities make you feel throughout your day. So starting today and throughout your typical day and week. So from when you wake up in the morning until you go to bed at night, what are these habits that you engage in? What are the responsibilities that you have at work or at home, in your personal life, at school? And how do these different things that you have to do influence the way that you feel? This can give you a clue as to if you're more on the edge of depleting activities and not balancing those out with the nourishing activities that you might need to feel more fulfilled and to feel as though you're caring for your needs. So I want to just remind you, as part of this 3-part Calm and Ambitious series, you can participate by downloading the workbooks for the series and fully engage and fill out all of the exercises that I'm telling you about. You can go to calmlycoping.com/series to get all of that information. And you will also be able to get the workbook for part 3 that I will walk you through how to identify your nourishing and depleting activities. So becoming aware of how certain activities affect your mood can be a muscle that you can strengthen. So maybe in the beginning, you're not even thinking about or paying attention to that. But as you start to notice it more, then you can really tune into what it is that affects you and how you feel from doing certain things. So we've been taught to ignore our needs and our body's signals for recharging and balance. And so balance doesn't have to be you work 8 hours a day and then you go home and have a certain amount of time with your family and then repeat. It doesn't need to necessarily be a perfect balance of one responsibility in one place and one in another. It's really when you recognize you need a break and take it. It can be when you shut down from work for the day and return again tomorrow. When you are working hard for 1 week and you take it easy the next week as a result. It's not a perfect formula or a completely balanced scale. It's working hard when you can and need to, and recovering when necessary. It's setting healthy boundaries and sticking to them. Creating balance requires awareness, consistency, and constant feedback from yourself and what's right for you. And that brings me to step 2. So you're going to want to check out the workbook here or grab a piece of paper and write down the activities during the day that nourish you and those that deplete you. So start with just writing down everything you do during the day. So, from waking up, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, having breakfast, whatever it is that you're doing. And then identify, is this something that nourishes me? Is this something that depletes me? Is this something I enjoy doing that gives me energy, that is fulfilling? Is this something that is really draining, that I hate doing, that's tedious? And see if you can break up your day into those categories. And then step 3 is to begin gradually balancing depleting activities with nourishing ones. So the key is to have a balance of both, because when you have too many nourishing activities, then you may not necessarily be accomplishing the things that need to get done. And the reality is that we all have those things that need to get done that we may not want to do. So depleting activities are an essential part of life. But if you're doing a million depleting things and then not backing it up with nourishing things to help you feel better and recharge you, then you're just going to feel miserable. So if you're noticing that, you're having more depleting activities than nourishing ones, try and prioritize just adding one more nourishing activity for 1 week and then just seeing what you notice, or for 1 day and then adding another one and gradually building it up so that you can see if you can even out. And it could be evening it out with a day. It could be, if you worked really hard during the week, then taking time for yourself on the weekend, seeing what it is that works for you. And again, there's no perfect formula or there's never going to be a perfect balance, but it's just bringing awareness to these things so that you can start recognizing what's coming up for you personally. View this as your personal plan because it's going to be unique and individual to each and every one of you. So examples might be after checking your email or doing tedious tasks, maybe go for a short walk around the office. Or after an overwhelming social event, maybe take a night to watch a movie and recharge. Scheduling regular breaks throughout your day can be a great way to practice this. Or after a long week of working late, maybe spending some quality time on the weekend with your family. You can also draw from the calming techniques that I shared in part 2 of this series to use nourishing activities as well, and I'll give you a link for that video here. So your action tip is to bring more awareness to the concept of balance in your life. Are you listening to the needs of your mind and body? Are you ignoring them because you feel you don't have time to or you don't deserve to? So these are all valid concerns. And creating some small time for yourself in order to create some balance is better than nothing, because that's what leads to burnout, more anxiety, and potentially depression. You deserve to care for yourself because nobody else will do it for you. So that's it for this 3-part Calm and Ambitious series, and I have exciting news. The doors to my exclusive monthly membership, the Calm and Ambitious community, are going to be opening up tomorrow. So if you're in need of additional support to help you stop overthinking, feel calmer from within, and create balance in your life, then this membership will be perfect for you. I provide you with targeted monthly trainings to help you as a high achiever who's struggling with high functioning anxiety. And I also offer a supportive community with people who are feeling and struggling with the same things that you are, so that you can get support and talk and relate, as well as monthly Q&A calls where you can personally ask me your questions and I can help to walk you through anything that's getting you stuck. You can learn more by going to calmandambitious.com. If you're interested in joining this membership, I know that it will help you to grow, think more positively, and care for your mental health in the way that you deserve. So while you wait for next week's episode, I have other episodes about decreasing anxiety, adopting a healthy mindset, and managing your time and energy. So be sure to check out these episodes here. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and until next time, be calm.